Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger. And my friends, today we're talking Nagoriyuki and we're talking a good case of the rich get richer. So going into the big balance patch that just recently happened for Guilty Gear Strive, many people thought if anyone was going to get a nerf, perhaps it was going to be Nagoriyuki. And well, frankly, no, he didn't. And on top of that, he got some fairly significant buffs. And these buffs are a lot stronger than they look on paper. On paper, they look like, okay, all right, that seems like a decent little change. But in this video here, let's go over some of the really crazy changes Nagoriyuki has gotten. For a character that people thought was going to be nerfed, he's stronger than he's ever been. Let's put it that way. So let's talk one of the changes here. The first one here, Nagoriyuki, otherwise known as the Projectile of the Mirage. As we went over in the visual guide, if you watch that video, it goes literally full screen now. Before, it didn't. That's great. So his ability to control space is way better than it was before. Also, the projectile itself goes quite a bit faster on top of going further. It's just simply much better at just controlling space and like all that kind of stuff. Any kind of fireball coming your way, no matter how big and nasty, you blow it up and you get your hit in. So his presence full screen now exists, when before it kind of really didn't. And that's not really the only change. There's actually a much more significant change that you don't get from reading the patch notes. So one of the oldest Nagoriyuki tricks in the book is you do the clone and then you immediately do your teleport afterwards. And when you do this in conjunction, you are plus on block. As you can see here, Kai is doing his fastest possible move. And when I do this correctly, I simply go first. But the thing is now, the move by itself is so plus on block, you don't need that anymore. You can just do it by itself. In fact, it's so plus on block, you attack immediately, he literally can't even get out a button. He's still in block stun. So the advantage on block is way more significant than it was before. No longer do you need the little tricky gimmick to get your plus frame. So that means you get to save blood meter. So say you're in whatever scenario where you toss in the middle of the block string, you can rest safely assured it is still absolutely your turn. You don't even need to be beside him anymore, right? So no more teleport canceling, no more anything. You just do it and it is absolutely still your turn anywhere on the screen as long as you're even remotely close to the enemy. So much better full screen, which was the more obvious part, but also much better pressure tool. And it's not like Nagoriyuki suffers for pressure, right? That's definitely not one of his weaknesses, but he's got another tool in the toolkit now. Another change that doesn't seem that big on paper when you read it is forward P. So before, if you counter hit someone in the air, you would just slap them down to the ground. Like conversions, not really. Like sure, you got your anti-air in, that's great, but conversions not so much. However, now, conversions is what you get. Due to the fact it basically keeps them close to you while keeping them relatively in the air versus just slapping them down to the ground like previously. Your 6P is now a very reasonable threat of an anti-air, when before, if I got hit with it, yeah, kind of whatever, no big deal, right? The punishment wasn't outweighing the worth of trying to jump in. Now, it's pretty decent. Another very big change is his Dragon Punch motion style move here, the launcher, is now only a single hit. It is only double hit if you hit button twice. And we'll talk about that, but let's talk about a more unsung feature of this. So this move, the singular hit, by itself, when you hit someone in the air with it, it's a hard knockdown on landing, so they don't get the rollout, no nothing. And if it's a hard knockdown, that means, you know, welcome to forward HS, right? And the beauty of this is this. If they happen to be high up enough in the air, you can 6HS, cancel into this, and as they land, 6HS them again. So I'll give you an example. This is something I'm playing with. I'm sure this is not optimal, and you can do better, but just to give you an idea. So say you hit them with close S or something like that. There you go. So yeah, we burned a bit more blood, but we got 2 forward heavy slashes in a row, so the blood drain is pretty significant, right? And it's tackling some very heavy hits at the end of the combo. Whereas, you know, the scaling will be high, but these are the moves that kind of push past damage scaling a little bit. So we'll see where that comes into play, but the fact that you can 6HS into the move into another 6HS seems pretty strong to me. So the potential from the sword swing second hit follow-up is very big, because you can do it as fast as you want, or you can kind of delay it, right? So its potential as a frame trap is very high, not the least of which it forces a lot of fun situations. Like say round start, right? Round start, the move itself is 11 frame startup and has upper body invincibility. So if you both mash buttons, like if they go for like stand slash or whatever, in most cases you will win. Some people have 10 frame mids, like Soul Bad Guy, right? So you'll lose there, but most people, they're 12 framers, so it's already faster. And it has a bit of upper body invincibility, so sometimes the mids will go through them. So you're good to do it. But if say they avoid it, or they didn't hit a button, or were otherwise out of the way, they're heavily incentivized to attack. And that's when you're like, oh. Since they gave this second follow-up the big boy counter as well, you can get a lot off of it. Hey, look at that. We did the thing. Callbacks. Callbacks. Those are cool, right? So yeah, you can really make people not want to press a button, because the damage potential off this, if the second hit connects with the big boy counter, it's titanic, really. So the beauty of that is, you know, once bitten, twice shy. Once you kind of enforce your will and get it off once, that's when you just get to let this rock, you know? Like, okay, you're not going to punish it, so I'm just going to let myself recover, take another turn, let's go. And that in and of itself is, like, that just adds to his game plan. So much of his game plan is already trying to engender your passiveness, you know? Like something like the old classic, okay, you know, I'm going to do that, and then I'll do the command grab. And of course, naturally, oh, you tried to hit a light or something to stop the command grab. So then I just backdashed out and I caved your head in. So this is basically just another layer on top of the thing he's already pretty good at. So yeah, those kind of changes basically make a strong character stronger. Like, yeah, they nerfed the damage, I guess, on Beyblade a bit. So it definitely feels like, you know, he's a low damage character. Like, that barely hurt, right? That barely hurt. So yeah, he's a low damage character now. So that's the nerf, I guess. So once again, like I said at the start of the video, it's a case of the rich get richer. But Nagoriyuki's a cool character. Nagoriyuki doesn't inspire some of the hate some of the other characters in the game do. At least not yet. We'll see how the future goes, I guess. So, all in all, I guess it's a good thing. Nagoriyuki is a very cool character. I think everyone can agree to that. A very unique character. Not many characters like this guy in fighting games for sure. So, I don't know if you thought he was going to get nerfed or not, but he definitely didn't, and I guess that's the video. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Guilty Gear.